You know, one thing that Dr. Wolf said and mentioned in his recent video about the 2021 MLP movie was the fact that we are going to probably see, if not will see, an old cast of characters show up. Now, he did mention that in the report that I think you can find somewhere on Equestria Daily, he did mention that it specifically didn't say what kind of old characters we would see. Now, logically, you would expect it to be the main seven or the main eight, depending on how, or main six, depending on how you view them. But then he also mentioned the fact that it potentially could be the old cast of G1. And then he brought up another scenario. What if, for a brief moment, we get a scene where we see multiple versions of said characters? Like, we get a scene where we see multiple versions of Spike. And that got me thinking, is MLPG5 going to play around with the alternate realities, alternate dimensions, multi-universe concept that a lot of franchises and companies are messing around with right now? Because in case you don't know, DC is currently doing that with some of its properties. Like, they're going to be doing that with the upcoming Flash movie. They've made that a focal point with their animated, um, excuse me, there, but with their animated direct-to-video movies, especially those based on the New 52 storyline or continuity. So they have, so DC basically has done this. They've done this concept before, and now Marvel Comics is getting into it, and they've done it before as well. They've done it before as well. There have been many examples of Marvel Comics doing it. They've done it through the the 90s Spider-Man animated series for the finale of the series. They're planning to do it with Doctor Strange and the Madness of the Multiverse. They got all these things set up to explore other alternate realities. Heck, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse explored or the multiple realities, the alternate realities of different Spider-Men or spider heroes, if you will, and where they existed. So now, the question is basically, is Hasbro and AllSpark Pictures planning to do the same thing with My Little Pony Generation 5? Not just the movie, but the series that comes afterwards. Because if that is the plan, then that is an interesting concept to go down. I mean, when you think about it, it is a way to bring back some classic characters or iconic characters from MLP's past. Mostly like Generation 4, Friendship is Magic, or Equestria Girls, which is dubbed Generation 4.5. They might even bring in iconic characters from G1. Like, some of the iconic, more well-known pony characters from then, and may even bring in some pony characters from My Little Pony Tales, looked at as G2. The possibilities, as the old saying goes, are endless. But is that what's going to happen? Is Hasbro planning, along with AllSpark Pictures and Boulder Media and whoever else is involved, are they planning to go down that road? Because again, the announcement that you're going to have an old cast of characters show up in the G5 movie, which is basically the pilot for the series itself. And now with the speculation that it could be anybody, it makes you really think, is My Little Pony going to go down that road? I mean, I just mentioned Equestria Girls. They've kind of already gone down that road in a sense, with the Equestria Girls world being an alternate reality or alternate dimension of the MLP universe. But that in this dimension, all the pony characters are humans. They're humans, the flesh and blood humans like you and I, but animated, if you will. So, and and the concept they got going with that is, whenever you go through a special portal from one world to the other, you become that version of yourself you become that world's version, I should say, of yourself in that world. Like at the end of, Spring Breakdown? What did we see? we see Sunset coming up with a solution to get everybody that was on the boat that's now stranded on an island back to the school. So what's the way she plans to do it? Just go the way they found out. Go through that new portal entrance to Equestria, and then basically go through Equestria and straight into the mirror portal back to the school. So yeah, yeah, you know, they've played with this before. They've played with this idea before with Equestria Girls, but now we're looking at them possibly expanding it. You know, again, you know, they don't specifically mention, even Dr. Wolf brought this up, they don't specifically mention who this cast of old characters are. You know, logically, people would think it's got to be the main 6, main 8, if you will. But then again, it could be another group of original characters from G1 or even some characters from G2. Nobody knows. But again, it does open up the door for speculation as to what we're going to get, of what we're going to see. And I can tell you this, with that door of speculation open, like any fan, I'm excited. I'm excited at the possibilities. More so, I'm excited at the possibility that, you know, G5 potentially could end up being the MLP's way of exploring alternate realities, multi-universes and all that. You know, we know that we know that the Xbox is exploring alternate timelines. I mean, if you want any good example of that, just watch the QD Remark, the season 5 finale, and you'll get your your glimpse of what I'm talking about there. So they've dealt with alternate timelines. They deal with alternate dimensions, you know, where characters are different species or represented by different species. But, you know, it makes you wonder if we're going to get that multi-universe like deal where they could end up in a universe which is similar to theirs, but things are a lot different. I mean, could we end up going into a reality where, you know, Twilight was never the one chosen to be the successor to Celestia, and instead it's Applejack? Who knows? The potential is all out there. It's just like the potential is all out there to be utilized. But again, you know, it makes you wonder if that's what we're going to get. And, you know, it's hard to say, but it really gets me hyped up and excited to see what they have in store for us with this movie. You know, what they mean specifically by having old characters show up in the movie, old cast of characters show up, I should say. You know, what the potential maybe of that leaning into. Will we get MLP G5 kind of basically being the, you know, the version of My Little Pony that, you know, the story arc and the continuity explores the multi-universes out there, alternate reality stuff, alternate dimensions, you know? Is that what we're going to get? Or is this going to be a one-time deal to help enhance the movie and basically give you an idea of what to expect with the series that comes afterwards? Let me know, let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. You know, and check out Dr. Wolf's video on that. I'll try to provide a link down below. But again, yeah, it really is something to speculate about. So, again, let me know what you guys think. Comment below, and I'll talk to y'all later.